Welcome back to the Midday Reset. My name is Antoinette, and thanks for taking a break with me today. Everyday life can get stressful as we move through responsibilities and commitments, and it's nice to take a break or two. This Midday Reset is meant to serve as a mini mental vacation for your brain as you deal with it all. Let's start by clearing our space with a nice deep breath in and out. Again, in and out. Once more, in and out. I want to talk to you today about acceptance. I used to believe that acceptance was either defined as what a person will tolerate or take, or the process of being received as adequate or suitable. Sort of like college acceptance when you apply. These are certainly definitions of the word, but I think I let these definitions overshadow my concept of what it meant to accept. If I had to map the process out in my brain, I'd say that my first definition of acceptance, what a person will tolerate or take, implies submission. To me, submission was weak. Next, my second definition of acceptance, the process of being received as adequate or suitable, implies being at the mercy of others. Neither of those appealed much to me when I was younger, as I have always been an alpha, and alpha women don't want to be controlled. The definitions of acceptance all sounded so weak and degrading to my youthful ears that I think I rejected the third definition of acceptance altogether. Therefore, when I was confronted with the idea of needing to accept circumstances, I rejected it. I thought that acceptance made me weak because I wasn't putting up a fight for the outcome I really wanted. In actuality, refusing to accept that the circumstances playing out in front of me were out of my control was juvenile of me. However, I needed to experience my bouts with denial in order to recognize this very powerful meaning to acceptance, which is to agree with or have belief in an idea, opinion, or explanation. For example, notable canyoneer Aron Ralston had to closely acquaint himself with acceptance of his circumstances after becoming trapped by a boulder during a hike in Blue John Canyon in southern Utah back in 2003. Ralston amputated his own arm in order to free himself from the boulder to escape the canyon. And there was a movie made about this that you might have seen. When two opponents face off, there's only one person who can win, and the other person has to accept that they weren't it. When loved ones leave this earth, there is no one to file a complaint to and have the transaction reversed. We are left simply to accept. So hopefully you're getting the point here that there are critical points in life where it really isn't best to fight the circumstance. I'm sure you are familiar with the phrase, pick your battles, and I will proudly share that I am still mastering the art of picking my battles when it comes to people, though I have gotten much better at this with time. But picking your battles also implies the battles you pick with the universe, the higher power that you believe in, and just life in general. Your body, your hair, the color of your skin, all were selected for you, and all are perfect for you. Give them a hug and figure out how to work with them. Embracing the features of your face or body will be more fun for you than stressing out over swimsuit shopping. I promise. Your family life may not be the greatest, but using your talents to make your situation as good as it possibly can be will be a better use of your time than resigning to be a victim of your circumstances. Acceptance is also one of the cornerstones of self-love, I feel, meaning that the sooner that you can accept yourself, the sooner you can love yourself. There are some things that you just aren't good at. You know what they are, and there's no need to feel shame for the shortcoming. Instead, embrace your shortcoming and work with it. Nobody is good at everything. We all need help with something. And right now, our world needs more people jumping to help in areas where others are lacking rather than people jumping to criticize. Learning to accept was not easy to do, and I still struggle with it at times, but the steps I took to get better at it first included my recognition of the fact that the obstacle, the problem, whatever it is, The path of my life runs through it, meaning I will come out the other side. It can be hard to accept when the issue in front of us seems huge enough to swallow up our everything, but it won't. Don't let it. Next, do not run from the snags of your life. You do not have to feel shame for not being perfect because neither of us are either. Some of us are better in certain areas than others, but we've already discussed this. Stand in your truth, even the not so pretty parts. The more you do, the more others will accept you. Lastly, get acquainted with the impermanence of life and its circumstances. The only thing constant in life is change, which means that while your circumstances may not be ideal, and you may be struggling to accept what is happening, know that in a few months you'll feel differently. In a year, differently still. And in 5 years, this might not even be a blip on your radar anymore. Consider that before you spend the energy necessary to fight the universe on the journey it's taking you through. I get it. Acceptance can hurt. It isn't always the preferred route to take. But there's a gem at the end of every path acceptance places you on. You just have to know how to spot it. Thank you so much for taking a break with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to share and subscribe. If you'd like to support the Midday Reset podcast, please become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/MDR. That's patreon.com/MDR. Take care, my friends, and I will see you next time.